So dynamic segmentation is interesting. We've always, in a way, had this on Wi-Fi, right? Which is when we have a user or device connect on the network, only at the time that we know who that user or device is do we decide, well, what's the right segment? What's the right policy? AOS 8 now brings us onto the wired environment as well.
OK. And what else can we talk about when it comes to dynamic segmentation here?
Oh, hey, excuse me, guys. Dan Rivera, Watch and Lock. Good to see you again.
You again?
All right, yes, sir. Hey, Dan Rivera, Watch and Lock.
I've heard about you.
All right, awesome. You watch it, we lock it. I'm here to install a camera and a switch. Can I go ahead and get started?
OK, sure, that's fine.
All right.
Connect that in.
Wait a minute. That looks like the corporate switch. You're going to just let him plug in this camera here?
Yeah, I think that's OK. And in fact, this is a great time we could talk a little bit more even about dynamic segmentation as Dan is connecting those. This is a great case where, although even the human in this case may be untrusted, we can rely on the network to do the right policy. And so as Dan is hopefully cabling this correctly as a physical security employee, thank you.
I took the class.
And it even looks like a consumer hub. We'll have to address that at a later date.
In my previous place, that anybody that uses those kinds of things, we would track them down and they get into trouble.
Yeah, I think in this case there might be other reasons for that. But from a network perspective, we're OK.
And I just went ahead and plugged in any port. Is that fine?
Any port's fine.
OK, excellent.
So as Dan is connecting that, you'll see that through, in this case, MAC authentication, the network has identified correctly that this is a camera. And we apply the right policy to that camera. And in fact, it's going through a hub to the camera. And so even not being directly connected, without any port-based configuration, we know that this only should have access to cloud video storage, and we're giving it the appropriate connectivity and policy.
And Michael, I found this loose cable here. Should I just go ahead and plug that in too?
That's odd. I think that's a laptop. Why don't you plug that in and we'll see what happens.
All right.
So I see that as he plugs them in, the switch ports change color.
That's
Is that
right.
by design?
It is, yeah. So if you think about the idea, kind of an old world of red ports and green ports, yellow ports, orange ports, we had to pre-plan what was connected to every port in the switch.
That always causes problems with user experiences.
And also, frankly, for us, for change management as well. So user, security, operations. Now, dynamically, when the devices connect, we give it the right policy. In this case, you see this is Syed's laptop. We know that through 802.1x authentication. And even though both of these devices are, unfortunately, running through this consumer-grade hub, we're giving the right policy through the same physical port. And actually, Dan, do you mind just moving that laptop to our enterprise?
Absolutely. If it's a laptop, it can't go on my secure security switch here.
All right. And while you're at it, you can move any of the other wires to the left so we can kind of clean up the mess you've been making later.
OK, any particular port?
Anything is fine.
All right.
So you're totally cool with letting somebody you don't trust make changes to your network infrastructure?
I wouldn't say it's best practice, but from a network perspective, what's connecting can be dynamic. We don't need to monitor or have change control in the same way we used to. We're no longer relying on physical port control and physical port configuration. Now it's dynamic central control.
We're all set.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care.
Wow.